Hey folks, this is Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to do an unboxing video today, and stay tuned for a channel update video, which will be out in a week or two regarding other channel news. But in the meantime, we're going to take a look today at SpaceCorp 2025 to 2300 AD from GMT Games and legendary designer John Butterfield, a designer so good that even Decision cannot screw his games up. So let's take a look at what we get in the box. This is a game I've been hemming and hawing over for like a long time, since they announced it, really. And I finally picked it up today. Thank you, IRS. We have a big, thick 3-inch GMT box, and it's quite heavy too. So there is a considerable amount of video on this game already on YouTube, so check some of that out. Not sure there's that many unboxings, although I'm not the first, I know that. So let's take a look. Vacuum sealed. Nice thick cover stock from GMT on the box. Looks great. We have here a solo rulebook. Now, John Butterfield is known for solitaire games, in particular the D-Day series from Decision, which is excellent, and which there's also quite a bit of video on YouTube already, and which I encourage you, if you're interested in D-Day or historical war games, to check out. We have here a solo rulebook, which is on matte finish, full color, quite fancy paper. Well, the paper's not that fancy, but the graphics are fairly fancy. This is 28 pages, and what we have here is this is not a style of rulebook presentation that one normally associates with GMT, which is fine. It's one that one normally associates with somewhat more mainstream games. So that looks interesting. This is a solitaire-friendly game, obviously, since there's a solo rulebook. There's a multiplayer rulebook, which is also, feels like approximately 28 pages. It is 24 pages. Design on this, John Butterfield. Development, Chad and Kai Jensen. Kai Jensen. The lighting in here is terrible. I apologize for that. I probably should have thought of that before I started filming, but it's too late now. So we have, this game works in 3 phases. There is like an initial exploration of the inner solar system phase, and then there's an expansion into the outer solar system phase, and then there's an expansion into interstellar space phase, and you can play all of them or just one. So we have some player aid cards here. We have one of these, competition actions and competition base match events table, and a solo edge effects table. Okay, I don't know what any of that means. And then we have what look to be 4 identical player aid cards here. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. Which contain a turn sequence, an action summary, and looks like a guide to the different icons is what it looks like on here. So we have these player mats. Are these all player mats? I think these are for the different eras. So this one, for example, so this one's, these are, so there's 4 of each of these, right? Surely it says on here somewhere which phase it's for, but you use a different mat for each of the game's 3 phases. And there's a giant pile of cards, and we get some wooden discs and blocks as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sealed packs of cards. This might be errata cards, actually. So the decks, I think, you change out when you change phases 2, I believe. I'm not going to open the deck of cards, but I will do something slightly different that I don't usually get to do with unboxing videos, and that's show you the board, because it's not that big. We have a bag of baggies. We have a board, which is, we have 2 boards, actually. Okay, so the board's not that big, so I have the free table space. So I'll mention this briefly. so you don't have to wait for the channel update video, but I am currently doing game room renovation once again. So here we have what looks like a business display / victory display, and these displays are all on very thick stock, very thick cardboard stock, almost that you'd print counters on. We have 3 counter sheets, which are probably going to correspond to the phases as well, I would think, although it doesn't say that on these that I see. Double-sided, they're about to come out of the sheet. All the square counters are pre-rounded, which is great. You don't have to worry about busting out the corner rounder or anything like that. Quite colorful. So yeah, no idea, but I presume that these do correspond to the game's 3 phases. So let me stick most of the stuff back in the box and bust out a board. All right, so here we can see one of the 4 different maps that are in SpaceCorp 2025 to 2300 AD. I thought there were only 3. I'll get to that in a second. So this is for the first phase of the game, which is the Mariners phase. This is 2025 to 2069. And as you can see, it's a square format map. I'm kind of cutting off the edges in the shot here, so I apologize for that. That contains the area around Earth, the Lagrange points around Earth, Mars, Sisyphus, which is presumably some kind of asteroid-type body is here, and Halley's Comet. And in the corner is the asteroid belt, or at least an arrow to the asteroid belt. So I don't know how far you get into that. This is a solo game, so I actually plan on getting this on the actual table relatively soon, and it doesn't take that long to play from what I understand. Now, in the back of the Mariners map, you get this giant sideboard thing, which I hadn't even seen this in a picture. So I don't know if you use this for the phases 2 and 3 of the game, or if you can use this for the solitaire game specifically, but it's on the back of the Mariners map, so obviously you can't use it with that. But in addition to that, you get another identically sized board, which is also double-sided. This is the Planeteers era map, 2070 to 2049. And as you can see, you've got the inner solar system down here, and then you've got Vesta, Hygeia, a number of solar system bodies here, Interemnia. I have no idea what that is. Ceres and Pallas, however, are large asteroids. We have Jupiter and its moons. We have Saturn and its moons. We have Uranus and its moon, and Neptune and its major moon, Triton. And in the corner, we have Pluto and Charon, and an arrow to the Oort cloud. So that's pretty cool. This is a topic that's of interest to me. If anybody asks, I have played Terraforming Mars, and it's very good, although I don't own it. There's no need for me to own it, because everybody at the local club has it already, and I can go up and play it multiple times any week. This is the third and final era, the Starfarers era, 2150 to 2299. And here we have the solar system in the middle, and a number of nearby stars here. So Alpha Centauri is nearby, Lumen 16, Capaton Star. We have Epsilon Eridani and Tau Ceti up here. Some of these are like classic science fiction places, like Epsilon Indi, for example. One I don't see is Barnard's Star, which is interesting because we just had news that I think, or was that Proxima Centauri? I think they found another planet circling around. That may have been. But I kind of expected to see Barnard's Star on here. Here we have the out arrow to the Orion Spur, which presumably means that you've become a truly interstellar civilization if you get out that far. So, SpaceCorp, a lot of stuff in the box, a lot of gadgetry, a lot of glitz for GMT. Now, I like GMT's graphical presentation, generally speaking, but this is kind of an order of magnitude fancier from GMT. I'm very glad to see we get the 3-inch box. Thank you, GMT, for not screwing us on the box size. For these kind of crossover games, they tend not to do that. They tend to put 3-inch boxes on these, and unfortunately for some of the war games, even in some cases some fairly big ones, you tend to get a 2-inch box, sometimes even smaller, and I am continually annoyed by that. It's one of my few complaints about GMT. But this looks really neat. I may even bust this out this afternoon before we do our family trip to IKEA, so I can buy more shelves. So anyway, here we have SpaceCorp, 2025 to 2300 AD from GMT Games and John Butterfield. This game looks quite neat. As I said, I am topically very interested in games like this, sort of realistic near-future space exploration type stuff, like this and Terraforming Mars and Surviving Mars, which is a video game from Paradox, which is also quite... It's basically a city builder on Mars, but it's neat. So if you've enjoyed this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I do have additional content on the way, including videos that are not unboxing videos. So stay tuned. We have additional stuff coming, and thank you for watching.